Well, this is Steve Hall in Nashville, Tennessee with a garden update. Man, we have picked and picked and picked and picked blackberries. I never seen so many blackberries. These got a little touch of red yet, so I'm letting them get completely black before we pick them. But, you know, like this here branch has all been picked already. There's a little bit of a touch of red on that one right there, and I don't pick them until they're completely black and then stay black for a few days so they get a little sweeter. And then we're going to make some blackberry jam and blackberry cobbler and all the rest. These little guys up front here, these little peppers, I thought they were kind of dying out or something, and now they're getting some nice blooms back on them again, and they must be trying to catch up with these peppers over here, because we got some nice peppers showing up here again. These plants did really good, and one thing I found is, you know, my tomato plants got all them brown branches in there, and I trimmed them out, and holy moly did I get tomatoes. I got tomatoes like crazy. The main stalks is all it really requires, and once I trimmed out a lot of that brown stuff, now I'm getting blooms like crazy. Now it's been brutally hot here for about a week or so, like in the 90s, upper 90s, and now it's back down into the 80s. I guess it's going to go back into the 90s again next week, and it seems like that really kicks the daylights out of the bottom. I don't know why the branches turn brown on the bottom. You'd have to check with my brother Larry Hall, Rain Gutter Grow System out of Brainerd, Minnesota on YouTube, and ask him some questions on it, and he can tell you. But you can see we are getting nice big red tomatoes, and we've froze them, and we've made tomato sauce, tomato paste. I got bunches of them in the freezer. We've gave bags and bags away to the neighbors. Here I just threw some in a bucket because I didn't know what to do with them. And look at all the nice big tomatoes that this thing is putting out just in a tub sitting here on the side. So the one thing I have found out from doing this garden is, just like anything else, is you're going to have some failures. Some of these little cherry tomatoes on the side over here and over here, they put out a few beautiful sweet little cherry tomatoes, and then they died on me. So I don't know if they had something. I got those and those over there at the same nursery, which I'm not going to go back and get. It was a little nursery on the side of the road, and they just didn't do worth a flip. Now my blackberries, which just went nuts, and all my tomato plants, which just grew like crazy and put out a lot, except for those brown leaves and stuff, I got them all at Home Depot or at Lowe's. And somebody else said their rhubarb acted up. I had just monstrous rhubarb growing great, and it just all keeled over and died out, and now I got new growth coming in again. Same thing with my son Stevie on his garden. He had just a whole bunch of rhubarb, and it just went whew. I mean, it just zonked right out, and then it all grew back again. Now he's got just tons of great growth. So I don't know what goes on with that, if it goes through a cycle or if I'm missing something or what. But this is a rose bush that Sheila's mom took one stick off of. We soaked it in a jar long enough for it to create roots, and then we put it in there, and it's really doing absolutely terrific. So the raspberries are just, I mean, look at the new growth. It's growing clear out here in the middle of everything. I'm gonna have to trim this all back. Again, blackberries are doing fantastic, and the red raspberries, we got a lot of them off there for the first year when they were just like in a pot at a place. And believe it or not, I bought these at that same roadside stand, and they turned out great. So they're growing like crazy, and I can't wait till next year to see what they produce. And I'm going to prune these back, and I'm going to prune the blackberries back as well. But look at them all in there. Holy moly, I didn't even see all those. And the Roma tomatoes turned out great this year. Again, we have picked and picked and picked and picked and picked. We start early here in Tennessee, especially with that Rain Gutter Grow System, or the grow bag system. We had a snap freeze kind of about a week after we planted, and we took all these bags in the house, and they survived. So, but this is the Rain Gutter Grow System, or the grow bag system, that my brother Larry Hall up in Brainerd, Minnesota taught me how to do. I never did check with him on the brown leaves. I just cut them off, and you know where the main stalk comes up, like for instance this one here comes out, and I don't have my little cutter with me, but I just cut them off, and then right in that little teeny spot you'll see that little sucker growing, and sometimes they grow out and produce fruit, and sometimes they grow out and don't produce anything. So, but man, there is tons of blackberries back in there too. These blackberries really went crazy this year, so I'm really thrilled about that. But look at all the blooms on the top of all these tomato plants. I mean, they are blooming like crazy. So we're gonna get some more tomatoes once we cut out them brown branches. The rest of it, even though it looked awkward with just stalks instead of a bush, man, they've really been producing the tomatoes. So time to pick some tomatoes. I thought I'd show that to you before I pick them all off the vine there. And I pick them when they just start changing color. When they just start changing red, I pick them and put them on the windowsill and let them finish up turning red in the house. You'll get the best tomatoes that way. That's me. I mean, you can do it your way, let them finish out getting ripe on the vine, but it just seems like by the time they get nice and red on the vine, you pick them, within a day or two they're soft and mushy and already starting to rot, and a lot of times they'll get by you if you get busy. So I pick them when they first change. Perfect example. Here's a nice beautiful tomato in here. I'll pick him. See, and it's not quite completely red, but isn't that a beautiful tomato? Just perfect. Can someone say BLT? And you set that on the windowsill or out on your front porch or whatever for just a couple of days, and everything will turn as bright red as that, but it's still a little bit green. And these that are just now changing, they're going to get picked here just within a day or two. Once they get to that orangish tone, I peel them right off the vine, take them in the house, and you'll eat them up, you'll freeze them, you'll use them, and it gives you about a week to really figure out what you're going to do with the tomato. Put it in a salad or freeze it or make sauce or whatever. You're not under such a crunch of picking them and I got to do something today. So I pick them slightly green. Anyway, this is Steve Hall in Nashville, Tennessee, with plenty of nice big orange tomatoes that are going to get picked and let them red ripen in the house. So talk to you later. And this is a garden update. Bye bye.